Part 3, a lasting legacy. Farmers throughout the Condamine catchment belong to a proud, resilient and resourceful community. They are dedicated to improving agricultural land and protecting it for the future. These are some of their stories. The Darling Downs is home to 3,600 farmers who have a rich history in the region. Many of the families have worked the land for generations and are determined to leave a positive legacy for future farmers. John Alexander's family have been farming on their Jimbo property for 86 years and have seen many agricultural changes.
My great-grandparents bought this property and a number of others around here back in 1926, and at that stage it was grazing country, sheep country, and poor quality sheep country because it was found to be hard for the sheep to get around when it was wet and the grass would stick in the wool, and so yeah, it wasn't until it was really broken up in the 40s and 50s that it turned into good cropping country.
John Darien dairy farmer David Vonhoff has been feeding calves since he was 5 years old. His son Clinton is now part of the business.
We purchased this property about 27 years ago, and I've been part of the farming scene all my life. I started feeding calves when I was about 5 years old, calves like you see behind us here.
Charlie Eubergang has been farming all his life and says it's a special area to be in.
It's a very special area to live in here, very special country. There's black clay here, Condamine clay, or here right on the river. I don't know, I've never been anywhere else. This is where I've been all my life, farming here, and it certainly is wonderful farming land.
Pathway Ag Manager David Hall says there seems to be a lot of younger farmers returning to the region with innovative ideas.
I think in Dalby or around the Darling Downs, whether it's an unusual area, but there seems to be a good amount of young farmers coming through. You go to meetings now, farmer meetings, etc., and you'll see that the farmer, the elder farmer, and then his son as well. There's a good group of the younger farmers coming through. So whether it's a trend on the Downs differently to everywhere else, but yeah, I'd say there is a good amount of young farmers returning, and that they're the ones that have the innovative ideas.
Barbara and Glenn Beasley hope people understand that farming is not just a business, it's a way of life.
I'd really like to leave an idea that farming is enjoyable. It's more a way of life than a commercial venture in some ways. But I know our children have really enjoyed growing up on the farm.
Brendan Taylor says we need to be responsible and look after the land we've got.
Being the father of 3 daughters, I'd like to think that I can leave this property in as good as or better state than when I became involved in it, managing it. At the end of the day, this is where our food comes from, and if we're going to feed 9 billion people, we have to look after what we've got.
Voices of the Condamine is a special production of Condamine Alliance to share the stories of farmers in the Condamine catchment.